Good morning. You guys are waiting for me. My goodness. Hi, Deanna. Good morning. And Marina's here from Kansas. Susie's here from Virginia. Oh, Maureen, thank you so much. She said she loved the design from last night. You know what? That was one of the favorite ones that I've done. It really is. And Cactus Deb is here from Glendale, and Linda's here from Abu Dhabi. And for those who don't know, that's United Arab Emirates. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. Joyce is here from Maze, and Di from Southern California. Yay! Di said they got some rain last night. That's good news, Di. Awesome. And Evelyn's here from New Haven, Indiana. And this morning we're going to show you some hearts. And it is going to be the string of hearts. And I'm going to show you a couple projects that I did a while back with the string of hearts. I absolutely love, love, love them. I do. Okay, Jean is here from Erie, PA, and a cold 24 degrees there. Jean, we have no temperature here. Our temperature is 0. Oh, goodness. So hopefully, we're hoping it's going to warm up a little bit today. Kathy's here from Long Island. Good morning. And Ronnie from northeastern Arizona. Nan, good evening from Sweden. And Lee from Indiana, good morning. Di loves this set. She plans to draw out the designs after class. And it really isn't that hard, Di. I'll be honest with you. Let's take a look. Now, the ones that I'm going to show you first, and we're going to go ahead and get that off, is some ones that I did Valentine themes. And what I did with these was I incorporated our regular hearts, our strand of hearts, and some more regular hearts on the inside and outside. And this is just a nice little design. And what you're going to see is I use this not once. This is a little more elaborate than this one. I also used it on this table runner that I did. And again, strand of hearts coming around here, and I used the regular hearts here. Now, this one, what I used is I actually used our Freedom Edge hearts on this one, but I took the premise or the design elements out of the strand of hearts. So that's how I ended up with that one. And oh, this is a big one. And we're going to go ahead set that one off because today we're going to work with our strand of hearts. I love this set. And what we've got in our strand of hearts, our hearts are 1 inch. Okay. We come in with 5 templates. And with those 5 templates, and I'm going to kind of show them to you right here. We'll get a nice little picture of them. With those 5 templates, we actually have 9 strands of pearls. And the reason we do is because 3 of the templates have 2 different sizes on them. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. But it says 9. Okay, so here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, we've got 8. the instructions on our strand of pearls. And I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way so that we can easily look, because I do think these instructions are important. There is a way to do these, and one of the things that's suggested is a 16 or 32 crosshair reference line. Guess what I chose? 32. Just like last night. You know what? It's kind of fun once in a while to do those little extras, isn't it? Okay. Let me see who else is coming on. We got Diane from Brooklyn, Mass, and Jean from Newfield, New York. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Debbie said she made that. Was it the whole runner, Deb, or just one block of it? It was fun. It really was, and I enjoyed it so much. We also have Patsy from a foggy New Mexico and Lisa from Sugarland. Good morning. And there's Linda, my Michigander buddy. I hope it's warmer down there than it's here. We have a blazing 0 degrees. Oh, okay. So what is really nice about this is these hearts stand out. They really are bold, and bold to me is a good thing. I'm going to give you a piece of advice though, with bold and things that are stitched over twice. And these hearts are stitched twice. What I like to do is stay away from variegated thread when I'm stitching twice. Now, a lot of threads, it really won't matter too much, but when you're using a variegated thread and you're putting two different colors, one over the other, for example, orange and blue, or that type of combination, what ends up happening is the thread's going to look kind of, I call it muddy. Because if we're using complementary colors, which are colors that are opposite of the color wheel, what's they're going to kind of meld into kind of a brownish mud type looking color. So I like to stick with the more solid colors. Or if you're going to use a variegated that's a light green, medium green, dark green, then goes back to the medium green, light green. It stays in the same color family. It's going to show better. It really will. Another place that this could be just totally awesome, and I will pull out spool of this thread so you can see it. It is metallic and it works really, really nice for the ruler work. So before the morning's over, we're going to switch over to this thread and I'm going to show you how beautiful the double stitching with metallic thread can be. All right. So let's use our strand of hearts. And these are 1 inch. I looked to see if there was another size in the strand of hearts. I was hoping there was a 1/2 inch, kind of like we've got our pearls, 1/2 inch and 1 inch. I don't see it, but I kind of think I might give Stacy a little holler later and say, hey, is there any way we might be able to develop a 1/2 inch strand of pearls? And we may be able to, we may not, simply because the template is made in a different way. We're going to double stitch everything, which means we are going to start here. We're going to come down, and then we're going to come back up. We're going to go this way. We're going to come down, and we're going to come back up. And then whoops, I've got it too close to my pin right here. And then we're going to twist our template. And again, come down, back up, come over, down, back up, and then twist. And that's what gives us this beautiful, bold, stitched out heart. Okay, you know what, guys? I forgot what size that is. Let me look here. It's not that size. I think it's one of the smaller sizes. It might be. Is it this size? Let's put that on. And it is. Okay. I wanted to have it stitched out here to begin with, just so that we had a little reference while we were talking about this. So let's go ahead and stitch our first strand of pearls. Again, I used a 32 reference lines on here. We don't need 32. It's just what I used. So I started on reference line 1. I ended here, turned, and that went to reference line um, right here. So it came to reference line 3. Then it came to reference line 5. You notice a theme here? We're going odd number reference lines. There's 6. So where we are at right now is reference line number 7. Okay. We're going to go ahead and give it a start. And what we're going to do is finish up the strand that we have started here. And we're going to pull that bobbin thread up, and then I'm going to quick take a look, and we'll see if we've got anyone new popped in. Mary Lou Asha's here. She's from a sunny, warm Florida. Mary Lou, if there's any way you can send us some of your heat, we'll be happy to take it up here. Okay, it's 0 degrees here. Lee said they're expecting 24 there today and some ice storms tonight through tomorrow morning. Lee, I'm so sorry to hear that. We will be getting snow. We are not far enough south to get warm enough to cause ice. Okay, so let me go ahead and readjust the camera. Get a little caffeine because it is morning. We all seem to need that caffeine in the morning. Take my first stitch in place and out we're going to go. What I really love about this first one that we're stitching out is how it overlaps each other. And I think my foot needs to be adjusted. There we go. I love how these hearts overlap. So now we're going to come over and we're going to go ahead and stitch down and around. And yeah, my foot does need some attention here this morning. It has been just a little bit ornery for me and back up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just loosen it enough so it finds its own level. Now we're ready to switch. Again, we are putting that straight line on each odd number reference line. But our hearts are going to end up on each even numbered reference line. And that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to stitch out. So here we go. We're going to do the first half of the heart. Oh, that is so much better. Remember, these are kind of small, so you want to keep those stitches just a little bit shorter. Come back up. Now we're going to come across We've hit our next even numbered reference line, and we're going to come down, make our heart lobe, take a little extra stitch in place before we head back up. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and get this thread out of here. Now, this is another thing that is very important. We want to make sure we are in the right tack hole, okay? What you're going to notice is these markings come together from this size, which is a 4.5 inch, and that means 4.5 inches from edge to edge of the design, and they are coming off of this template and meeting right here. That is where we're going to put the tack. If we are using the opposite side, if we were using this side, you'll notice that both of these lines converge right here. And that means in order to get a 9.5 inch design from edge to edge, you would need to set your tack on this hole right here. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I think we're ready to go ahead and twist. I made a chubby checker comment last night when I was talking about twisting, and now I can't get it out of my head when that happens. Okay, so we are now in the center. And this is why we are getting the beautiful, strong stitching, is because we need to go over it twice in order to form the heart. Okay, off we go. We're going to come back down. Stop when we get to the center. Now, the center of the heart is going to be on this reference line, and this reference line is going to line up with the 32 reference lines that I have drawn on this block. We're going to come up to the point, the bottom of the heart, and we're going to turn. And there we go. Now, what's also interesting is that this vertical line is going to continue to run through the vertical crosshair that we're working on. However, these lines get pushed out a little bit from the lines underneath the bigger it gets. Don't let that throw you, okay? That is not a problem. Here we go. And as I said, I love how these little guys overlap each other. I think that they are just adorable. And we're going to come back up. I'm going to do one more heart here. And then there's something that I wanted to try. I'll be honest with you, I did not have time to try it earlier. Okay, there we go. Um, Even though I've been up since 3 a.m., thank you to my dogs, one of them decided it was time to get up. They do. I run on their time. They don't run on my time, sadly. Oh my goodness. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come over to the right, just like I was going to make another heart. I'm going to stop. Going to come down. Going to come back up. I'm going to turn my template and I'm going to stitch back over. Again, I'm going to come down and I'm going to come back up. Oops, make sure my needle is down and turn. Kind of looks like a fish hook, doesn't it? And come back up. I'm going to do this a couple more times, then we're going to change directions. So I am only using half of the template. In this case, the right side of the heart or the right lobe of the heart. All right, I'm going to come across now. And this time, I'm going to come and do the left lobe of the heart. I'm going to come across. I'm going to turn my template. And it looks like I'm off by a half a stitch there. And I'm going to do the left lobe of the heart. I'm going to come across one more time. This time, I'm going to do the right lobe of the heart. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to turn. Oh, no, I need to go back. Or I need to go forward. I'm sorry. Go up this way. And come over one. I believe I did. There we go. We're going to go one. There we go. Now I'm going to do the left lobe of the heart to get one over there. And from that. And I'm just going to go ahead and close this circle. So there are a couple of different ways that we can stitch this. And I wanted to show you that. Truthfully, my favorite way is stitch in the heart. I just love hearts. I think they're beautiful, they're simple, they're fun. This could be, I don't know what you would use that for, maybe a ribbon design. This is kind of cute too. What happened was on this one, I kept it out one reference line as opposed to two. So those are just a couple of things. These look like fish hooks, but I think they look really cool. I really do. Let's go ahead and do a whole rotation of fish hooks. All right. So this is a 4.5 inch. And what I want to show you is definitely where the 4.5 inch works. Okay, let's take some questions here. Okay, so Kathy, this is a really good question. Why can't you just move the template to the starting point once you reach the top of the heart on the right side instead of overstitching? Okay, the reason being is you will not be able to move the template because of the pivot point. Okay, does that make sense, Kathy? And Kathy said, "Oh, I should have read ahead. I think I see why now, because you're rotating on a pivot." Yeah, you answered your own question, Kathy. Way to go. Awesome. Lee says the one looks like a cancer ribbon, breast cancer ribbon. And she's right. That does look like a cancer ribbon. And it could be a cancer ribbon, an autism ribbon. We have ribbons for everything these days. Whoops. Okay. Let's go ahead. I just got a pop up here and I want to close that. Okay, there we go. Nan says, I think she makes one side of the heart and then the next row, the other side. You double stitch the circle too. Yes and no, Nan. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I make one side of the heart and then the other side of the heart. However, we don't need to double stitch that circle. Now, if you want to have the circle stitched stronger, like the hearts, what's going to happen is you're going to end up triple stitching it because you would come this way, then you'd have to come back this way to double stitch, but you need to come back to the original way, the original direction, because you need to be over here to finish the heart. So what we've got going on, and I really want to make sure that you understand this, because this is the biggest um, challenge that I had when I first started doing this. If you start here and come here, you can't pivot the template. So you have to come back up here. Well, if you pivot the template over and come like this, you're not going to have a heart. You're going to have a ribbon. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to start here, come down here, and come up. Then come across, down, back up. Then you pivot the template. So another question, and this is me anticipating questions, okay? Why can't you start here, come up around here, and stop here? The reason being is once you're here, you no longer can move that template. And in order for things to be consistent, you want both sides of this heart to be double stitched. If one side is single stitched, one side is double stitched, it's going to look wonky. Remember last night when I was doing the last rotation and I said, I don't need to come all the way around to finish off that curved marquee, but I chose to. The reason that I chose to come back and stitch that other half that I didn't need to was for consistency. If you have one line of stitching next to two lines of stitching, it's going to stick out. You're going to notice the difference. If, however, you have two lines of stitching next to three lines of stitching, it's not going to stick out. So what we want to do is remain consistent with the number of layers of stitching we're using. Does that help? Okay. Kathy asks another question. I wonder if these could be used without the pin or in a straight line, creating a border design. Um, I'm going to be honest with you, Kathy, I haven't tried that. We can take a look at that, okay? And Julia's back. Good morning from Alabama. So if I was going to use these on a straight line, what I would need to do is come down here, up here, then move this straight over down here, up here, and come back here. It would be difficult. Can it be done? I really would need to do some figuring, Kathy. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, probably, but you might be better off just getting the heart templates if you want to go in a straight line. Those are easy to do. But I'll work on that. Okay. And I will report back. So this is our 4.5 inch. And what I wanted to show you is if we come side to side, remember last night we talked about this too. This says, wait, where did my 4.5 inch go? Let's get it back out here. So from here to here is not 4.5 inches. From here to here is what this measurement denotes. It's 4.5 inches. So it's 4.5 inches from edge to edge, 2.25 inches from center to edge. It's not going to be the size of your template. It's going to be the size of the completed design. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Um, Susie, thank you for stopping by. She said she has an appointment and finish watching later. It's always good to see you, darling. Let's see. If Nan says, if you sew all the left heart part all the way around, then you sew the right part, maybe it will be double stitched on the circle, right? Yes, Nan, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. I fully understand exactly what you're saying, and it does make sense. It does. So let's go ahead and get a little bigger size, and let's do what Nan just suggested. Okay, let me get, where's the 8.5 gonna go? Where's the 5.5 gonna go? Okay, 5.5 is too small, 8.5 is too big. So let's look at 6.5. And remember, okay, 6.5 looks pretty good. Yeah, let's do the 6.5. Remember, the 6.5 is from here to here, where it's going to end. Now, I told you that we would try some metallic thread. So let's go ahead. I'll rethread my machine and we are going to do that. I am also turning my heater on because I am freezing. I hope that does not interfere with the sound. If it does, please tell me. I will turn it off. All right. And here we go. When using metallic thread, you always want to use a metallic needle. It has a larger eye and it just works better with metallic thread. And here we go. I hate this. I'm going to blind you guys for just a second here while I get my needle threaded. And there we go. And now I am going to again start on line 1. I'm going to line up my template, but we're going to start on line 32. Oh, I just need that caffeine in the morning. Turn that off. You get a better look when I don't have light. Well, come back here, you. This is pretty skinny metallic thread, but I'm telling you, it is awesome. Oh, there we go. What we're going to do on this one is we are going to go ahead and do one side all the way around. Then we're going to come back and do the second side all the way around. Thank you for suggesting that, Nan. I really appreciate that. It's always good to get another opinion or idea. Here we go. Take my one stitch in place. When you're working with metallic thread, it's always a good idea to slow down a little bit too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut those thread tails. And there they go. Come back up. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and stitch all the way over. But we're not going to stitch down. We're going to stitch again on the left side. We're going to rotate and stitch on the left side. I'm not going to go all the way around because I want to make sure that this works. And there we are, back on our reference line. We're going to stitch over to the right. Stop there and twist our template. And go around we're going to go. We've hit the bottom now of our heart, and over we're going to go. Stop right there. Put a couple more of these rotations in. Can you? Oh, you can see. Good. I wanted to make sure that that thread was high enough contrast for you to get a good look. Now, for metallic thread, this thread is a little bit on the fine side, but that's probably why I like it so much. Oh, goodness. I love this thread. And let's do a couple more here. The reason I stop here is because I want to make sure I get that really nice sharp point. And one more. Okay, so this is going to be the last one, so I'm not going to stitch over this time. What I'm going to do is rotate my template. I'm going to come down and up and back over the opposite way. And this is nice. You don't even need to break thread. Although my thread just broke. Okay, that's interesting. I have a feeling my bobbin is probably running low. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I don't know, guys, what's happened. Everything looked just fine. Everything is working just fine. Oh, I do know what happened. My thread got caught in my machine. It snuck out of that thread guide. So are thread guides important? Absolutely. So there we go. We're all set. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Going to start at the bottom again. I'm going to go ahead and pull my thread up. Wow, that was weird. And I'm gonna fold all those threads back. Oh, my goodness, have I got a mess here? There we go. Awesome. There we go. We got it. right, we're gonna go ahead and realign this. I'm gonna take my first stitch in place and come around. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those threads off. Not a great cutting job, but you'll get the picture, right? And back up. Now this time we're going to stitch to the left. And this is how we end up with a double stitched line. Going to rotate. Now what's different about this one, we're far enough away that our hearts just skim each other, but they do not overlap. And back we're going to go. We're going to stop here. So this is a great way of doing it. This is the way Nan suggested, and this is a great way of doing it if you want that line double stitched as well. Boy, when you're stitching the template, it looks like it's going to go over, but it doesn't. So trust the template. Our templates are more accurate than our eyes, I believe. At least my eyes, I know. These old eyes are starting to get weary. Okay, there we go. Oh, came off the template just a hair. No worries. This is practice. Every time I do that, I find it's because I looked away. I have to constantly be watching and paying attention to what I'm doing. That's me. A couple more, and we'll have this one finished up. And up we go. Over to the right. Or to the left, I'm sorry. I do normally know my right from my left, but it's early. And my hooligans decided at 3 o'clock this morning they had enough sleep. It was time for me to get up. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and snip that thread off. And I just used a regular thread in the bobbin. I didn't use any special thread. And let's take a look at how this worked out. I think it looks great, guys. What do you think? I'm liking this. This metallic isn't in your face metallic. It's pretty subdued metallic, but it just adds that little extra bit of glint to it when the light hits it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change back to my regular thread. And this will just take a second. Jean, thank you so much. Oh, good morning, Valerie. Late, but here. Here's the important part, Valerie. Late, we don't worry about. Jean says, love seeing the way of using the circle part for the double stitch too. And Jean, you are welcome. And again, I thank Nan for bringing that up because it is consistent this way. Okay, Maureen wants to know the kind of thread this is. Okay, so what this is called is Fuji King Star. It comes in 1,000-meter spools. It is polyester core metallic on the outside. Like I said, it's not in your face metallic like a lot of them are, but it just gives that glint and it works beautiful. And it's very user friendly. A lot of metallics that we had in the past, we know did not like us too much, right? But this thread does. It's awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to get one of the larger ones out. I'm gonna, right after I thread my machine, see if I can do it without the light, or if that's just not going to happen. Okay. I do it, guys. There we go. I did it without the light. Yay me. You guys have given me so much confidence. Nan, I love this. Thank you for this test and that you like it. Nan, thank you for the suggestion. It is so nice to be working together with you. I love when you come into my lives, Nan. You always have such good things to say. What size needle do I use with that one? With that thread. I'm going to tell you honestly, I have a number 75 in there right now. And that is what I was using. This thread is fine. The hiccup you saw was because right here on this particular thread guide, sometimes it gets caught inside of this door. It gets in this door when it's really thin thread. And remember, guys, this is a vintage machine. These machines were made from regulars. They didn't even have these fancy threads when this machine was made. So little quirks, that's all. And it happens, but it's not a big deal. We just work around it. Okay, I love to work around things. All right, here is the big one. This is the big daddy. It's 11 and a half inches. And what I want to do with him is I want to come in and then I want to go a couple of lines over. So let's take a look at how we can accomplish that. I'm going to put this guy away. Oh, 2 days in a row. I'm organized with my templates. I am so proud of myself. Um, yeah, I took out my template holder. Boy, I'll tell you, I've known they were there the whole time. Why I didn't do it before is beyond me. All right, let's go ahead and grab this thread. So what I'm going to do is I want to do a heart at 12 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, no, at 12 o'clock, at 1:30, at 3 o'clock. Okay, let's try that. And I am going to start at the top and I am going to do the double stitching. And I am going to do it the way Nan suggested, okay? So this should be cool. This should work really, really well. I'm going to turn this around, make it easier for you all to see. Hold those threads back. Here is my number 1. This is my reference line number 1. I call 12 o'clock. So here we go. We're going to come and take that first stitch in place. There we go. Remember, all of the hearts are the same size. They are all 1 inch. The only thing that changes is how far away from the center they are. Okay, there's my half a heart. My next heart, I want to do 2, 3, 4, 5. I want my next heart to be on reference line 5. So I need to line this line up on reference line 5 in order to get my heart there. So we're going to stitch away. There's reference line 2. There's reference line 3. Let's get rid of that thread. Now I'm going to move my template over. Here's reference line 4. We're going to bypass reference line 4 and come to reference line 5. This is the one that we want our heart on. So I'm going to turn my template so I get the left side of my heart, just like I did here. And I'm going to take Marine's comment off. Oh, Kathy, thanks for stopping by. She said she has to leave for an appointment, and everybody stay warm. Okay, Jean. Jean, yes. Jean, will you email me so that I can email you back? Because I think I did talk to Stacy this morning and she was correcting the coupon code. And that may have been my mistake, guys. I want to apologize for that. We have a artisan curve marquee and an artisan curved marquee. The one I demonstrated last night was the artisan curved marquee template. And that's a lot of curves for me. So yeah, if you could drop me off, that would be great. Jean, you can get my email address if you go in sewstudy.com under instructors. Well, I can give it to you here too. And that is it. There we go. There is mine. Lisa suggested maybe keeping a piece of tape over the thread guide area would keep my needle from running into that opening. You're absolutely right. I never thought of trying that. I will do that. Oh, Digital Designs by PJ has stopped in. She is from Southwest Ohio. I love the way you spelled that. That is so cute. All right. There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the second left-hand side. Remember, we're doing this on reference line 1, reference line 5, and reference line 9. Okay, so here we go. And we're going to come back up. Now we're going to come over again. There's reference line 6. We're crossing it now. On reference line 7, right here, make sure your needle is down, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to just again move our template. There's reference line number 8. We have crossed it, and we're going to come down to reference line number 9. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch the left side of the heart. And come back up. And let's go just a little further. There's reference line 10. And we're going to stop on reference line 11. reference line 12. And on reference line 13 is where we want to make our next heart. Come down and back up. Now, what I want you to notice also while I'm doing this time I'm not turning my fabric as much. I'm really turning the template and using the template in different directions. This is a skill that I really, really stress. I'm just using a 15-inch square. I can easily turn this square around and work on it. If I have a regular quilt in here, it's not going to be that easy. So I need to be able to be sure that I can stitch in all directions without having to turn that heavy quilt around. Because trust me, you will wear out your shoulders very quickly if you're trying to move that heavy quilt and maneuver it on every rotation. Just so much easier to make sure that you can stitch in all directions. So we're going to go now. This was number, what did I say? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to go to line 17. There's line 14. We're going to go to 15 and have to move it again. There's line 16, and we're just going to make a little bit of an adjustment here and stop at line 17. Now I'm going to move my template and make that left side of the heart. Even though it's facing a different direction, it's still the left side of the heart. I'm going to stop at the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my template back so I can get the right side of the heart stitched in. There we go. And now we're going to head back to the next heart, keeping all of our stitching consistent. 2 lines of stitching on everything. Take your time, not a race. It's a journey. And one more stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead, line myself back up. Remember, I'm lining up my reference line that I'm going to stitch right here under this etched line. That's exactly where we want to be. Coming around and back to the bottom. Isn't that a beautiful little heart? Wouldn't that be adorable template? And we're going to come back. As long as you keep your template lined up, you will have beautiful traveling, as you can see. Let me head over, stop at the bottom of the next heart. Well, I need to just adjust it a little tiny bit. There we go. And again, lining our reference line up with our reference line, the reference line on our template with the reference line on our fabric. And again, I looked away. Now I could come back and pick that out later. That is not a great big deal. Coming back. Stop. Rotate. And the other fun thing you could do, if you want to, you could actually add some of the heart templates in between these little guys. And lining up one more time. Around we're gonna go. We're double stitching. And I'm just gonna move myself around a little bit here. You'll notice I'm going backwards this time, which is fine. It's still going to give me where I need to go. It's just in a different direction. And one more stitch. There we go. And this is going to complete our design. And do we have to stitch it twice because that was the end of it? No, but I do stitch it twice because I want the consistency of double stitched lines. So you see, we don't have to do every single reference line either. We can come in and put them farther away from each other if we want. Um, covering this today was a lot of fun. I really rather like this little fish hook kind of design. And this little ribbon design actually turned out kind of cute too. Kind of liking that. I will tell you, my favorite is having the hearts overlap. It's definitely my favorite. Here we showed you how to make the hearts that just kiss each other. And considering Valentine's Day is coming, this is a really, really good set to be able to make something with and get some hearts going. This heart, this the second one we put on here, I'm thinking to myself, I'm always thinking of template. It's just the way my mind works. I'm always thinking template. Now, if you wanted, you could actually cut out this portion as opposed to cutting the hearts out. If you cut out this portion, those hearts are going to pop. They're just going to really stand out for you. Okay, let's take a look at what we got going on here. All right. Oh, Jean, thank you. Jean just appreciates what we do here. And Nan says, wow, I love how it looks. It is fun, isn't it? I love playing with templates. I love coming up with new ideas. I really am an out of the box thinker with this kind of thing. Patsy says, I love these templates. Linda, thank you so much for your kind words. Oh, Debbie, you as well. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys really you mean a lot to me coming here. All right, let's take a look. Lisa Louise Quilting and Crafts says, do you quilt large quilts on this machine? Yes, I have. I did a queen size quilt in ruler work on the 301. And just to give you an idea, let me go ahead and show you what the 301 looks like. Well, goodness. Let me just move this. You guys don't want to see all that stuff. I have to take the rubber band off. We're going to pull it up and over. And that is the 301, has 7.5-inch throat, right? I know I've measured this. No, 7-inch throat. So it's a 7-inch throat. And yes, I have done it. And in order to do it effectively, I have used the Sew Steady arms that hold the quilt up. and they really, really work well. So that is what I use. And this little guy here, my border collie. She's my best buddy. Oh, gotta go. Oh, have so much fun, Ronnie. She's getting ready for a get together for Sew Quilt Knit on Wednesday. I think that sounds wonderful. Oh, Ronnie, you're quite welcome. Let's see what else we got. Di asks, could you also using tense pencils and have various colors? Yes, Di, you're absolutely right. Don't forget, if you're using the intense pencils, to use a fabric medium. And the fabric medium I use is right here. There we go. It's Jacquard fabric medium. That is what I use. It works every time. The colors won't run and the colors will stay nice and bright. Lana, welcome from Oklahoma. I'd love to know how you got. You know what, Lisa? The only part of Lisa's uh, would like to know. The only part of the sewing area that I worry about is the part that I'm working on. The rest of it can be bunched up. It can be all over the place. But this part, as long as the part I'm working on stays flat, we're good to go. So, yep. Nan loves the sound of the from the sewing machine. Yeah, so do I. It's so nice and steady. It really is. And Diane, thank you for your comments. I really appreciate you guys coming. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. This will be available for replay on the 906 Quilting Services YouTube channel and on the Self Study YouTube channel, and also in the Okay, guys, for some reason I just went muted. So, oh, Jean, can't wait to try this one out. It is a fun one, Jean. So, at the fear of repeating myself, like, subscribe, share, 906 Quilting Facebook page or YouTube channel, Self Steady YouTube channel. These will be available to watch again, also on the 906 um, Facebook page of Self-Study Facebook page. The coupon code is, um, let me get here. Deal Day 20 is the coupon code. And it should be, everything should be good. If it's not, please let me know. I will take care of it. So I thank you for being here this morning. It's a great way to start my day. I hope it is for you. And until we meet again, let's quilt.